Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Mias and welcome to my Cyber Dragon trap testing video. So before we start, really reminder to like and subscribe because it motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these, and I know you like Cyber Dragons, otherwise you wouldn't have clicked on this video. So yes, I'm bringing you the best stuff by the best guy. I'm just kidding, I'm definitely not that cocky. I kind of am, but not that hard. Anyways, I'm going second against this Brandish guy. I hate when people are playing that version of Ashe. Set rotation with Area Zero, Duster, and Hornet. So ironically, set rotation and Duster is actually a 2-card combo. That's kind of interesting. So he's gonna go set rotation, give himself the Mystic Mine, which is really annoying, and he's gonna Duster the Area Zero, which is nice. It's one way to start your engine. So yeah, Shizuku going to be searching for Widow Anchor and just pass here. So the only interruption he has is Ashe, but unfortunately, that's kind of all he really needs. I go Emergency. He doesn't actually Ashe it, so I'm kind of happy, but then he can Ashe the core. It's not the end of the world for me because I still have the body. I still was able to contact Fuse, and I was still able to have that core in the graveyard for next turn. So, you know, when you physically hard draw core and dry, you already play inherently through Ashe, so it's really not the end of the world. So I jump my opponent for 39, I set 3 to my back row and pass. There's no reason to set that second Forbidden Drop. It's not really like I had to be... I don't know, I know my opponent cannot Duster me again, unless if he plays Magician of Faith, woo, but Goat Control flashbacks. But yeah, now I have to actually kind of be afraid of this Mystic Mine, because I knew he had the Mystic Mine, but I can actually play around it, I can strike myself, and I really need to apply pressure on my opponent, so I kind of just had no other choice, to be honest. He has 3 spells engraved, so this will actually destroy my punishment, sadly, because otherwise I would have been able to go punishment, pop, and he kind of would have had jack shit, so he got ridiculously lucky popping the punishment. Any other card wouldn't have really cut it. And I really don't want to strike this because otherwise I actually lose out to Mystic Mine and I'm actually relying on drawing really good cards. But I can just Forbidden Drop send this. So, yeah, I don't really have to care too much now, and I have my core in my graveyard, so now I kind of have to be afraid of this Widow Anchor, and he has Shark Cannon, so he can Shark Cannon the core, but what he's actually going to do is Shark Cannon the Ecclesia. Now, I was actually kind of like, what the heck are you doing? It makes no sense. But I guess there is kind of logic behind it, because now he has like an anti-OTK policy. Like, there's literally no way for me to OTK him. Literally no way. So I'm kind of scared, and I'm still holding on to this Solemn Strike, so I can negate like a Hand Shop, or I can strike myself so I have no monsters. But yeah, now I can go core, whatever, search for Cyber Dragon. I still have to be afraid of this Ecclesia, so I kind of just go, okay, yeah, send, because I really want to make Infinity. Special summon. I feel like I definitely tunnel visioned here. I know for a fact that I couldn't have won the game, but I don't know. The thing is, I feel like I really should have used my normal summon on core to search an overflow, so I definitely clowned. I don't know. I decided to be stupid. This Mystic Mine is just really annoying. Ironically, I mean, it sucks against Cyber Dragons, but hey. So, yeah, here I can just absorb myself. It doesn't really change anything, but Top Deck Ray, really good card, but I seriously thought he was going to Widow Anchor me here at this point. So now he goes normal summon Ray, and I'm like, okay, yeah, this game's over, especially when I saw that the last card in his hand was an Area Zero, because you're gonna do what, like tag out and then eat the Solemn Strike to your face? That's a nice Widow Anchor you got there. Too bad it doesn't really do anything. What's he gonna do now? Steal my Infinity, attack for 25, pass and scoop? 21 even. But no. And yeah, next turn, regardless of if this card gets Widow Anchored or not, I have the negate, so this is over. He only has 1600 life points. Game over, my guy. Let's get into game number 2. Alright, so he forced me to go first on a game 2. I go core, search for overflow, and I set both the overflow and the compose, so if he Mystic Mines me, not the end of the world, I can just compose myself, and he's gonna die, and I'm not even going to waste this overflow. So now he has the freaking jamming waves, so if he uses on the overflow, I literally win the game. It's like best value for me. But the mother fricker's super lucky, and once again, gets the one card I don't want actually destroyed, so that's annoying. I didn't want to set this trap trick because I don't want to commit heavily and lose to Harpy's Feather Duster. That would just be pointless, so now he's just gonna pop my overflow. I don't know, he's way too scared of back row. He's not really playing in the best way, honestly, and I have no freaking idea why he even cited Zoo King Alpha. This card sucks against Cyber Dragons. There's nothing you can do like at all, outside of like special summoning it inherently jump over like infinity, and then realize that you still can't do anything. So nice deck, Turbo. Anyways, I'm gonna search for Cyber Dragon. Normal, this is going to eat the Imperm. I still have to play around this Forbidden Drop, but it doesn't really matter too much. So yeah, attack, and then on main phase 2, once he actually took the full 45, I kind of feel safer going Anaconda into Rampage here, and I'm actually also going to pop. Shockingly enough, he didn't Forbidden Drop here, so I actually had Cyber Dragons in my graveyard, which is definitely game changer, by the way. He really should have used the Forbidden Drop either on Anaconda or on Rampage, so I don't know what he was trying to do. Maybe at least send, I don't know. I really don't know. I just don't get it. So yeah, I just don't see the logic. Top deck Forbidden Drop. I mean, yeah, a bit too late. And pop the Anaconda out of everything. I mean, okay, sure. Now you have to deal with Overflow. I'm just gonna let the Rampage die because I don't want to lose the Mystic Mind. I wouldn't have like Chain to destroy the Zooking Alpha. That would make no sense. But yeah, there is no way he can win, so he just scoops it up, and let's get into replay number 3. Alright, so replay number 3. My opponent goes first, of course, since I want to go second. Neural Network into Culling, summons Exalt, set to pass. That's a nice red eyes that you got there. He actually could have set the Inspector Border, right? I'm pretty sure he could have, so I don't know why he didn't. That makes absolutely no sense. But yes, I'm gonna go set. He's going to... okay, look, the thing is, I went Punishment here on his end phase because he didn't really play too much, and I considered, like, popping one of the spells and traps, but I was like, oh, whatever, they're probably garbage. There's no way you have enough to play around, like, all of my cards, because they're really good, right? Ecclesias, like Nadir, I can push through back row inherently, so I was like, I don't want you to have that follow-up. I can play through your traps inherently, it's fine. So I play around the network, and look at this, man. Activate Nadir, gets freaking Mistake, then I swear to God, I was actually hovering over this card. I really wanted to pop it, so this is just the most frustrating thing ever, because this Mistake is actually so annoying. It's gonna take like 10 years for me to out it, but yeah, I mean... This is actually funny, though. Mistake... Yeah, well, I mean, yes. Mistake, top deck, Terraforming. Nice deck. But, by the way, him, ironically, not setting the Inspector Border saved his ass here, because he was able to normal summon it after on his own turn, and yeah, if he actually set the Inspector Border, instead of attacking directly with Fear, I would have attacked over Inspector Border, and on main phase 2 I would have made Fortress. So yeah, this definitely helped him out a lot. So yeah, now I'm going Punishment. There's no way he's going to let it resolve, right? Yeah, Judgment, I'm like, okay, yes, sure. Judgment, Mistake, nice. I mean, I'm not really playing the game, especially when my hand is garbage, but now I finally draw a card that can actually out the Mistake, which is nice. So here, okay, look, I actually popped the Inspector Border because I really think he can't play, and it doesn't take much for me to actually unbrick out of this, but as soon as I saw my top deck, I was like, oh, I hate my life so much. Oh my god, of course, man. Of course I draw a search card, because any Cyber Dragon monster equals I win. I make Rampage, I pop, and that's game. That's already game. But no, of course not. So... Oh, by the way, that's actually a card that protects him from getting OTK technically. So now he sets an Ash, he sets a Judgment, doesn't set anything else. Finally draw a Cyber Dragon monster after 10 years. He actually has to Judgment negate because otherwise I can kind of deal lethal. I can go Cyberload, pop... The thing is, I actually chose not to use the first effect to pop a spell or trap, because if I get Ogred, I have to use my strike on the Ogre, and then I use the second effect, and I might actually get Veilered. So I was actually playing around like double hand trap, so it's also kind of... psychological effect, you know? So yeah, I definitely did the correct move, because there's nothing... I don't benefit off of destroying this Mistake anyways, because I'm going for game. So yeah, that's how I won. Let's get into the next replay. Alright, I'm playing against Hand Trap City. Yes, ironically his hand is broken, by the way. Like in the meta, this is Ash, Ghost Bell, Skullmeister, pretty good cards, and the one card like combo, Fusion Destiny. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, he can't really do that much, but I don't know. No, he's really supposed to be doing like way more than just this garbage. like a Link 3 vanilla monster. Ooh, I'm terrified. So yeah, Disparity, he's gonna Ash here. I'm like, what the frick? You're not ashing my other cards that are 20 billion times better? Apparently not. So yeah, now Contact Fuse attack for approximately a lot of damage. Okay, I actually did something really interesting here. So I actually went for the damage first, instead of going like Verte and then Rampage, because first of all, that would lose to just one single Veiler. That makes no sense. I want to deal damage first, because sure, I'm losing out on the ability to make 68, but instead I do a safe 45, and also I knew that he had the Vision Hero increase, so I wanted to have the ability to make a Rampage on main phase 2, so I could actually pop that increase. If I actually made it on main phase 1, he would have kept the increase, and I would have actually had to deal with him having a follow-up, so that was definitely well played on my part. And now he Ghost Bells the hurts, but that just doesn't really do anything. The value is just really weak, so the top deck Fusion Destiny is definitely how you get it, but I mean, that's just not enough. I have Ice Dragon's Prison. Oh, by the way, he should have Skull Meistered the hurts and then Ghost Belled the Ice Dragon's Prison. That would have been much better. So now he's just passing turn, and that's just game, because I mean, I have Rampage that can attack thrice, so that's 6,800 damage, and technically much more. So, absolutely fantastic. Let's get into the next replay. Alright, I'm going second against Phantom Knight, and this guy, I mean, he's drawing well, so yeah, full combo apparently. He's going to search for the Strain Greaves, and then he's going to summon back Thingy, summon this from hand, and then summon Silent Boots from hand if you want to. Even send Ragged Gloves. You pretty much have anything at your disposal. Really nice to see people play Leviarin, Phantom Knight. This card's really broken. So, however, it is not nice to see people play this in the deck. It's really cancer. Honestly, I know this might sound rough, but I really hope and wish for people to brick as much as possible. I just hate this package so much. It's really boring, and it's not even like it was fun or badass. Like, oh my god, bro, he made Dragoon. No way. That's so impressive. Ooh, it's just 2 monsters. Congratulations, bro. Yeah. So now, out of everything to negate, you really negate the hurts when I have 5 cards in hand. Kind of looks a bit stupid, but whatever. Attack over Verte. And then I set a bunch of cards. Look at the card that he's actually gonna top deck, though. This guy's really good at the game. So yeah. Yeah, okay, sure. Use a bunch of cards. Top deck Harpy's Feather Duster, of course. But he doesn't use the Dragoon pop first. He should have. But now, whatever, Duster. And, okay, you're actually gonna see something pretty pathetic on my end. Yeah, I don't know why I did that. I really had no reason to do it. I don't know why I tunnel visioned and forgot that this was gonna get destroyed, so I just sent it. And I realized it as soon as the chain resolved. I'm like, no! Oh no! I sent the overflow! It's not destroyed by a Harpy's Feather Duster. I can't search. So I'm pretty much on a top deck mode now, which is pretty pathetic. And technically, he's not doing much either. He has double Fogblade, which is good, but technically I can get away, away from this. It's not the end of the world necessarily, but the fact that I have 2 blanks and I played very poorly, it's just too much. So whatever I top deck, it's just not enough. Ecclesia is just gonna get eaten by Fogblade. So yeah, if I did play a bit better, I still would have lost though, because in hindsight, my core would have gotten hit by Fogblade, and then Cyberload, core, and Hurts into Rampage get negated again. I would have been able to push through to Fogblade, but not do anything after that. So yes, unfortunately, if my hand was a bit better, then definitely, but yeah, getting also killed to death by, well, I mean, you know, beaten to death by a hippo is kind of humiliating, but let's get into the next replay. Alright, I made him go first. He technically had the choice between comboing off with Itali and Kagemusha, but he chose to go Red Ice Fusion into Dragoon, and he also has, well, he has 3 interruptions total. I don't know why the frick he set the emergency teleport. He should have kept it in his hand, but whatever. So emergency, getting hit by an Ash, and then I go battle phase, and the battle phase, he doesn't negate with Dragoon, which is pretty funny, because the rest of my play is nothing. So yeah, search, emergency, blah blah, set 1 pass, I can't do jack. He's going to pop my core, I'm just going to take 400, it's not the end of the world. Now, he does something really bad for him. He gets rid of the final card in his hand, so he can no longer negate. So if I go overflow pop Kagemusha, unless he plays El Mirage, which Phantom Knight players don't, and he doesn't, he's not going to be able to do anything. So yeah, now he's on 0 negates, and this Ragged Gloves also cannot send itself to the graveyard unless he like links off 2 monsters, but that's just kind of really stupid. So at this point, I have 100% billion guaranteed OTK. I can just go Anaconda, search Cyber Dragon, and then next turn pitch, and then make Seeger, and that's 13,100 damage through one monster, so there's just no way I lose. And as long as I had, of course, that 2,000 life points to spare with Anaconda's payment. So yeah, man, a Rampage that can attack thrice. Seeger doesn't deal any damage, but it doesn't matter because all I really need to do is just attack over all those monsters and attack for game. So that's how I won. Let's get into game number 3. Alright, so I know this might sound really sad for me to say, but this is the kind of game that is almost solely dictated on hand quality and deck building and not execution or skill, because I lost because I just couldn't do anything. It's not even, oh yeah, I played it like poorly, like on game 1 where I, for some reason, I forbidden dropped to send my own overflow against the Duster. That was pretty pathetic. I wasn't thinking, by the way. It's not I had a reason to justify myself. But yeah, again, this freaking Anaconda garbage. It's really annoying. 7 Dragoon. He doesn't even care if it's on column number 4. It's not even like I can go relinquish to Nima. So top deck Cyber Dragon, of course, complete garbage. This Disparity is also not going to get me anything. I mean, technically, if I grabbed the Ash, I would have been able to jump over the Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, but he has the freaking Fog Blades too, so that was just too much for me. Battle Phase doesn't do jack shit outside of make him actually plus almost. Summon Cherubini. Whoa, that's actually bad for me. So yeah, it's whatever. This doesn't... at this point, I'm basically just admitting defeat. There's kind of no reason for me to play it out. Fun fact, you actually don't take damage when your Mega Fleet dies because it technically doesn't have an attack stat anymore. It leaves the field with question marks, so that's just more considered like 0 than an actual attack stat. Even though it has an original attack on the field, it's hard to explain, trust me, yes. Because there was a card that was kind of like an Icarus attack for machines. It was like, tribute 1 machine, and for each 1,000 attack, I think, that the machine monster had, pop a card on the field. I really wanted to consider playing it, but then someone told me, oh yeah, you can't actually use it with Mega Fleet, they won't actually destroy anything, so... Kinda sucks, and I guess this is following the same principle. But yeah, now he's just a Dragoon negating my Ice Dragon's Prison that's actually threatening the Dragoon, of course, because he didn't really have to negate anything else. So even though he's not presenting lethal, look at this, man. Disparity in my hand, top deck for turn, freaking Disparity. Of course, man. I went through 3 Disparities in 7 cards. That's just ridiculous. So... doesn't matter what I get because he's just going to be able to negate the card, and I lost. Let's get into the next replay. Alright, I'm playing against Evil Twins, going second. I want to say I played against a lot of pretty very respectable decks up until now, so people can't really say, oh yeah, just play against meta. Yo, but shut up. If I play sometimes against meta, it's not even going to mean anything, because sometimes when people present like how their deck fares against the meta, they're kind of showing the replays where they draw like the best hands against the meta drawing like pretty suboptimal. Like, oh yeah, look, my deck can beat Drytron. Oh, what was your opening hand? Oh, like Droll, the 5 pieces of Exodia, and Soul Charge. Okay, yeah, sure. Well, I mean, you get the point, but yeah. So whatever, now I don't really know why he uses the trap. Oh yeah, to draw 1 card, but like, I mean, I don't really care. Parallel Exceed, that's a nice top deck LMAO. Now he's just going to tribute the guy from the graveyard. He's gonna eat a strike, and he can't do jack, because he's just gonna lose to pretty much every one of my back row. And I also have Overload Fusion next turn. I'm top decking Strike, which doesn't matter, but it means that he can never play the game, so let's get into the next replay. Alright, against Mutants, first of all, this is actually hilarious. He starts by using the Lab, and as soon as someone uses Lab, I know I won, because it means that they bricked. If it's their first play, because it summons, like, it recycles back a mutant monster from your banished on activation. If you have nothing at all, then you're not doing anything. And of course, activate Mystic Mine, go into end phase. This, I just expect the opponent to actually... He probably did on purpose, just out of frustration because of the fact that he bricked. But, yeah, I mean, yeah, you shouldn't play Mutant Fusion. This card sucks in Mutants. Ironically, the borderline Shadow Fusion actually completely sucks in the deck. But, yeah, so now he's just gonna Metaverse me, the freaking Mystic Mine, the worst timing, unsearchable one of. Mystic Mine wouldn't have done anything, but Metaverse into Mine on my own turn is super annoying. So don't worry, I can out it though. Next turn, I go normal summon, overflow, but I actually draw the Cyber Dragon anyways, so I don't have to waste my normal summon on a Sidra. And now, yeah, it's basically game regardless of what my opponent has. So it's G to the G. Let's get into what should be the final replay. Alright, going second against Mutant again, but this time, he actually drew the nuts. Like D-Fisher, Emergency, what the heck is this, man? And the trap card? Oh, this is nuts. Arsenal, blah, blah, blah. So he's just gonna pass on that, which is enough, ironically. Top deck Necrophase doesn't really do jack. He's just going to attack, whatever. By the way, fun fact, a lot of people might be like, oh yeah, but he misplayed by putting the monster here. You could have just went Relinquished Anima. I actually thought about it, but then when I read this card, I realized that Relinquished Anima wouldn't work because this card actually says when your opponent activates a monster effect, you can banish one card, so it just... It wouldn't really work. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't successfully equip, or it might, but my monster would still get banished, or I don't know, maybe. But I didn't want this hers to hit the banished, because I wanted to eventually top deck an overflow. But my logic is kind of flawed when I think about it, because what I actually could have done is fuel my banish, and then use Cyberload to pop the Dimensional Fissure instead of relying on overflow. So there were two ways to see this. I kind of went with the I really want to see core or overflow path, but whatever. I mean, every path leads to Rome, basically. So disparity for 6 because I'm literally desperate. This is the one time it's necessary, but ironically the card that I need is the first card, so I just look retarded. Imagine, man, you're like, yeah, just I don't really care, man. All I want is the first card. Can I not reveal the 5 other cards? But yeah, his Necrophase, by the way, it really helped me out by banishing more Sidras, so I can actually go Cyberload right away, ironically. So yeah, pop 2 and then effect. I'm going to, oh yeah, once again, this is another one of those episodes of Yasin is retarded. I don't know why in the frick I recycled back the core with the Hertz. I'm such a moron. I should have just kept it in my graveyard, so I could have went like Overload and then summon another Rampage, make Nova Infinity attach, and then have a negate for next turn. But no, because I'm stupid. And yeah, I mean, can't really do anything, right? Yeah, he's just gonna pass here. Gold Sark top deck. I mean, Mystic Mind really doesn't do anything, and this Gold Sark, it's not, you're not playing Thunder Dragons. I don't really have to care too much. I have 20 billion cards in my hand, you don't have Jack. This game's over, even though you opened with D-Fisher and E-Telly. I freaking rock. Well, to be fair, he did play pretty incorrectly. But anyways, that's all I had to say and showcase for this beautiful Cyber Dragon Shop testing video. If you guys have any comments or feedback, let me know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these, and that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.